Dun, dun, dun.
I had silly glasses and hats and all that, and I forgot it at Ethan's place.
Oh man, silly.
I
I
was
never
gonna go over.
thought of that. Silly hats. Although I think through Zoom there might be some, but you'd have to figure out your settings to do that. But there's probably some weird stuff. But anyways, welcome everybody. Super happy to be here with you today. And for those of you who are just tuning in, we should be live right now. Welcome to our weekly check-in. We are totally thrilled to have you with us today for our mental wellness for life weekly check-in, which is thrilling. If you're here, please feel free to say hello. It sounds funny to say introduce yourself because your name pops up on the screen. So I'm pretty sure we know who you are, but you could still say hello. You could tell us where you're from and all that other good stuff. And today we're talking about laughter, which is absolutely awesome. So, hey, Tom, what's the opposite of coffee?
Toffee.
Sneezy.
Oh, you're funny. You're funny. You're such a fun person.
Yeah, well, buckle up because it's going to be a long hour. So, I make myself laugh. I was reading all these jokes for tonight. This is so funny. And poor Al, he's walking by and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm killing myself, almost literally on knock knock jokes. So funny. Like,
Are we live? I'm looking at the page. Are we live?
yeah, we should be. Are we not?
No. No.
What?
Did they block us again?
No, we should be. Does it not look live?
Um, here
Oh,
we are. Yeah,
yeah, there we are.
we are now.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, hold on. Do we see us? Does
I
somebody?
see. I see us.
I see the two old guys from the
That was me.
yeah, I love it. Very good. I see those two. That's hilarious. All right,
Okay, we're good.
we're good. Excellent. Very good. So everybody, we're thrilled that you're here with us. And it looks like we have one viewer so far, which is fabulous. Although maybe that's me or you. Who knows? I don't know, but that is absolutely awesome. So we are going to talk about laughter today. I have to say we've had an amazing few weeks of great topics, and if anybody has applied anything that we've talked about, please feel free to let us know where success lies and if anything didn't work for you. Maybe Tom's giving you some bunk information. If he is, let us know. I told you it's going to be laughs all day long. So make sure you let us know because remember, support of the group is important, right?
Yep.
So we're all learning together, which is very important. Tom, what was the highlight of your week? Tell me one good thing about your week.
Well, it wasn't what I told you off air, so that wasn't it.
It's got to be
Um,
better.
so the best thing is right now, I can't look at my phone. The sunshine behind me is it's probably 20 degrees and it's supposed to get up to about 29 this week by the weekend.
Ooh, very
So it's
nice.
warm and sunny.
I love that. Now, does it get humid where you are? What does hot feel like?
Um, I think you saw us in the Okanagan, which is very desert-like, so very dry.
Yeah.
Um, it doesn't get. I don't feel I've been here too long. It's that humid, but but having the ocean like 90 kilometers away, there is it's probably has some type of moisture, but I don't notice. I like it actually.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah,
good. 'Cause it can be, and that's something that we need to acknowledge. Coast to coast, the heat is different, right? Like I'm right on a Great Lake. It's a little bit different. You go inland, like for a small blip of my life, I lived in Kitchener, very dry. I wasn't used to it. But then the cold was also dry. It was different, right? So yeah,
yeah.
it's important that we can manage.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because I've lived all across Canada in my life. I lived in different parts of Canada.
Yep.
Not in Manitoba or Saskatchewan, but I've definitely been there for periods of time. The coldest place I lived in, I actually was a cook at a camp, my early 20s, and I cooked up at a place. I thought it was called Yarrow Fair. It's been a long time, but it was -40.
Mhm.
We were like, you had your mess hall and your barracks, and you basically walked outside to like 10 feet, right?
No, thanks.
Dry cold. The
Yeah.
coldest that I remember in my body is living in Toronto, Lake Ontario. That wet, damp, even though it's not getting to -40, there's just
Right.
a difference to something that gets to your bones, right?
That's right.
So,
That's right. That's what we have here. Absolutely. And then we have humidity, which is something that I struggle with. So having a strategy to get through that for the win.
yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good. So let's start today with our 3 questions that I always ask you. So, vanilla or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Me too. All the way. That's right. Chocolate for the win. And how about a bed or a sofa?
A bed that's a king size bed is like perfect.
Yeah. Not sleeping on the sofa, not ideal.
No, so I'm right now with me trying to sleep because of my I got a big hernia, so whatever, whoever knows, I think everybody knows. But um, I can't sleep on my back. I
Oh,
mean, eventually I would fall asleep. I've actually traveled across Canada a few times when we had Greyhound buses. I don't know if do you have Greyhound buses in Ontario?
I haven't,
They're gone.
yeah, I don't think, I haven't seen one in 20 years.
Yeah, I
That's,
think they're only in the States now, but I remember going across Canada when I was younger, and it'd be like a 3-day bus ride,
yep,
and I can't sleep on my back. And so I would wait for the very back seat by the toilet would
right.
be, and then I would try to lay with my feet up against the window and head up against the toilet wall. And I'm pretty sure I must have passed out, but I just can't sleep on my back. Like, so I have friends that fall asleep in the rocking chair. You fall asleep in your rocking chair.
Totally. Absolutely. Every night faithfully. Yeah, I do the nod just about anywhere.
So, so what would be funny? So I'm just responding to somebody. What would be funny if I was there because I'm a prankster, just like James.
Oh, yeah.
I would probably. My mom, our mom's bugging us, anyways,
Oh,
or bugging me.
bugging
But
you.
anyway, yeah, I probably, I would not want to. There'd be a good side of me that would say, okay, she's sleeping, she's tired, and then
Yep.
be the other side of me going, okay, what can we write on her face?
Yeah. And then half of my house would participate and egg you on.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the way we roll. Yeah.
Okay. So last one, uh, electric or gas stove?
Gas all the way.
Me too. 100%. Do you have a gas stove at home?
No, do you have a gas stove at home?
No, but I
No.
did at different houses I lived at and I loved it.
So what did you love about it?
I loved that it was quick, the way it cooked. I also liked that it had a drawer at the bottom to keep like my cereal and stuff in and things that I wanted to keep fresh and warm, I guess, if that makes sense at all. But yeah, I did. I really, and back at that time, I could light a cigarette off it if I didn't have a lighter,
Yeah, there you go.
right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Skills.
what it wasn't. This is a joke, everybody. Just so you know. Yeah, it wasn't like putting knives on the electric coil, right?
That's right, because they're much better on the flame. Hey, and then you're like, oh, I burnt my lip.
Yeah, and mother goes, "How come the knives are burnt?" And you're going, "I don't know."
Yeah, that's when you blame a brother. That's
Yeah, no. Well, I'm the one. I'm the one, and the 3 eldest. I got blamed for everything.
oh, is that right? That was your role? It's an important role. Somebody had to do it.
Yeah, I would. If what they do is if somebody needed to be grounded, it'd be me.
Yep.
And Tim and Tammy were they were a little bit more hijinks. Tim was like Dennis the Menace. And
Okay.
so, but they would try stuff with, use for an example, you can laugh at this. Tell Nicole as your kids get older, right? So when I'd help doing the dishes, I try to be like a good son. This is like 10, whatever, right? Well,
Sure.
my sister, Tammy and Tim, when it'd be their turn, they'd leave food caked on, and they were like, "No, you can't do dishes. You go away. Tom, you come do the dishes for your."
Oh,
They
so
were smart. They did a horrible job.
strategy, right?
Yep.
It's all about strategy.
I'm
That
full, so I
is,
didn't have a choice. Yeah. Anyways,
yeah, that's right. Hey, Tom, what's it called when you steal someone's coffee?
I don't know.
A mugging.
Oh, geez. So we're gonna have lots of jokes today. Some may be really bad, and some may be even worse than really bad.
But they make you laugh. Did you
Yeah.
laugh on the inside?
Yes. Do you see the stuff I post on Facebook?
I do. You're
It's
the
hilarious.
pun master. You're the pun master. You
I
are.
have a friend that does the holding her head like she like they're stupid funny, but they're awesome. So I told Michelle earlier, but she's got me laughing a few times. I'm usually the one trying to make people laugh.
Mhm.
But anyways, what's going on? I get all these beeps. Are you beeping or is it us?
I'm not beeping you now. Are
Let
you
me
getting
read.
beeped?
Well, you hear, oh, maybe, oh, you know what? It might be my work computer. Let me mute it.
Ah,
I've got two laptops that are singing together.
maybe you're just super popular and people want you in their life.
No, I need to silence that. Jacqueline is on.
Jacqueline, nice to have you with us, Jacqueline. Jacqueline, knock, knock. She's saying, who's there? A broken pencil. Tom, fill in for her. What do you say?
Purple pencil who?
A broken pencil.
A purple pen, no, broken pencil who?
Ah, never mind. There's no point.
Oh my word, people be ready.
Yeah, be warned. Michelle's got the helm. That's right. So, but see, as you're laughing, as it lightens the mood, boosts things up, helps take your focus off things that you can't control. So, I'm going to actually share an article based on that. So, hold on to your hat. Let's see, now that we're doing things differently, if I can pull this off with my screen sharing
Okay,
and
you keep looking it up. I just want to make a couple of statements.
go
I
for it.
I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something.
Oh my gosh, they are. They are. Hey, what do you call a sad cup of coffee?
You're picking on my coffee. Okay, go ahead. What?
Oh, depresso.
Oh, geez. I don't know how you got all the coffee jokes. I'm stealing them later.
I'll send you the page.
Did, did you hear the rumor about the butter?
No,
Well, I'm not going to spread it.
good, because spreading rumors is not a positive activity. Very good. I
Okay.
love it. Okay, so
Let's look at
I
this.
I got this article from the mayoclinic.org. I'll share it on the page later. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's just a nice little overview of stress relief from laughter. So, of course, there's a lot of benefits from laughter, but we're focused on stress relief, mindset, mental wellness. So, this tied in really nicely. And it says, quite frankly, a good laugh has great short term effects. When you start to laugh, it doesn't just lighten your load mentally, but it actually induces physical changes to your body. So it can stimulate many organs. It enhances your intake of oxygen rich air. We know we need oxygen rich air. It stimulates your heart, your lungs, your muscles. It also increases the endorphins that are released by your brain. So no joke is too corny. As long as you have a reaction to it, you're doing these good positive things, right?
Yep.
Also, activates and relieves your stress response. A rollicking laugh fires up and then cools down your stress response, and it can increase and then decrease your heart rate and blood pressure. So that's good, right? So you might start out feeling stressed and tense, and then when you're tense, it creates inflammation. Where after a good laugh, especially a good hearty one, if you pee a little, that's probably a good thing as well. That's going to be prepared though, but that's going to be a good thing. And then the soothe tension. Laughter can also stimulate circulation and aid muscle relaxation, which again helps reduce some of the physical symptoms of stress. And then, of course, there's some long term effects. So everything has short term and long term.
That's right.
So it helps improve your immune system. If there's anything we've learned about in the last 4 years, your immune system is very important. So negative thoughts manifest into chemical reactions that can affect your body by bringing more stress into your system and decreasing your immunity. But by contrast, positive thoughts can actually release neuropeptides that help fight stress and potentially more serious illnesses. Also helps you relieve pain. Is that something you've ever thought of, Tom? I'll relieve some pain by laughing.
Um, I've understand it now in the last, say, 4 or 5 years, but yeah, it just like I don't think we just do things habitually, and we don't understand half the time cause and effect, right?
Right, right.
But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's interesting because I myself have been guilty of saying something like not lately, but over my lifetime, I'm not in the mood to laugh, which is like it's such a silly statement. That's me canceling out something good before I've even given it the opportunity to create the results, right? So I thought that was really interesting, especially people who are maybe dealing with chronic pain. Then it increases personal satisfaction, so it can make it easier to cope with difficult situations. It also, and I think this deserves its own category, helps you connect with other people. What a great way to bond with people when you share a laugh together, whether it's seeing something funny, whether it's something happened. You ever have that moment? I think we probably have that moment where you see something going on that's funny, but not everybody thinks it's funny. But when I catch your eye, that's when I start cracking up. And yeah, I'm talking to you specifically, Tom, in that moment, right? So that's such a good bonding thing to have that together. I'm going to tell you a funny story. Alec, my oldest one, he was very quiet. He was an introvert. He went to counseling when he was a little kid. He was very detached from other people. And to this day, and he's 37 now, I'll always remember our first laugh together. And I was crouched down, and let me think, he was probably maybe about 7, and he was crouched down, and I was helping him do something. Maybe there was a slushy involved, but it's a silly thing. My sunglasses flipped off my head and landed in the slushy or whatever the food item was. He looked
Yeah.
at me, I looked at him. We cracked up laughing. Not something you would think is significant, but in that moment, we made a really good spark connection. And those things are very important, right? Like anybody else would be like dumb, but no, it was really powerful in that moment. Um, and like even today, he's still very reserved, doesn't talk a lot, keeps it to himself, not a hugger, but boy, he's a smart aleck. So he's the one you got to watch with the one-liners, right? But
Yeah.
it's just so funny because through laughter, all the craziness that was going on in our life in those moments wasn't on the table. We were focused on that. So that was a really awesome thing. And then it also, of course, improves your mood. So many people experience depression, sometimes due to chronic illnesses. Laughter can help lessen your stress, depression, and anxiety and make you feel happier. And it also helps improve your self esteem. Thought that was very interesting as well, right? Because then you feel good and you feel that connection and you feel like you're in the right place at the right time too sometimes, right? When it
And
comes
you
to laughter.
and you have people, so you have people that we all have different different buttons for humor. I've got when I was in England, like the dry humor, and I find it funny, but I have friends going like, "That's just stupid," right? Like Monty Python, The Holy Grail,
Love it.
and people would go like, "That's just dumb." And so, but like what Michelle's saying too is there's science, right? So what we know, and we're learning more and more, but what we know is that how connected what's happening in our mind affects our body and our body and vice versa, right?
That's right.
So if you think about, here's a couple things, maybe I'll put them on the wall after, whatever. Here's a couple things like, have you ever been to a comedy club? Have you ever seen a comedian live?
Right.
So here's a question for you. What's one of your favorite movies to make you laugh? Favorite comedies?
So I like Dumb and Dumber. I like there's probably the Jurassic Park that has Jack Black and The Rock and Kevin Hart. That's very funny. I like The Rundown. Have you ever seen that one? Also with
It's hilarious, yeah.
hilarious. I love it. Where they're going down the hill, or he's gonna fight, and then he one punches him.
No, the monkeys, and now you're looking the monkeys, or when they eat that fruit from that country,
That's
and they
right.
get all wigged up, yeah. So
Love it. I love it. And that's one, like these movies, a lot of movies with Melissa McCarthy are funny, especially the ones where her name's Tammy, or even funnier.
And that would be for you. Identity Theft is a great movie.
Yes.
So,
oh my gosh, with the songs in the car.
and Krista's on too. Thanks for joining us, Krista.
Hello.
We're gonna post this later. But what are some movies that make us laugh? So we're just talking about that now. And the funny thing is, like Michelle said, especially when McCarthy has the name Tammy. Well, that's our sister. It's
Right.
kind of a personal something. Well, I don't know what that means, right? Yeah, it's one of the ones. Tim Allen's pretty funny, right? So he's in a space one called Galaxy Quest,
Yes.
and in it,
Yeah.
so now you're just journeying with me and Michelle. So welcome to the trip.
Yeah.
So you've seen the movie, right? So in the
Yeah.
movie, it starts Tim Allen. He's kind of a hack, and the aliens find him, right?
Yeah.
And the aliens are the most funny people because they have that fake laugh, like like they're still ahead, right?
Yeah.
But here's what. So we're gonna post like our favorite funny movies. You can post maybe if we haven't seen something, we'll watch it. Maybe it'll trigger something.
Sure.
That's the thing that's gonna take too, right? In the way we're wired, it's the way our brain works, by the way, too, is things will trigger something. So have you ever been? So I'm speaking to Michelle and everybody else. Have you ever been in a situation where somebody laughs and you think something's not funny, but all of a sudden them laughing is funny, then you laugh, and then all of a sudden you don't even know what you're laughing about? Like sometimes people laughing is hilarious.
Absolutely.
You can find reels and me like if you need some brain energy to kind of lighten the load. And here's the problem with depression, anxiety. It doesn't want to do that. Depression wants to stay sad.
That's right.
Depression wants to pull the drapes close. I know, I've been there for like not recently, but for a long time. We just want to sleep so we don't think. Sleep, and then some people will medicate, right? But if you're like I put these stupid things on Facebook. If you're not friends, you can friend me. I'll trust that it's Michelle's friend. Yeah, I send silly cat videos to my cat lover friends, and you can't have a cat because of allergies. Is that right? Or do you have a cat?
Oh, we got cats. No, we got cats
Okay.
and a dog. I just can't have a bird, apparently.
I hate birds.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Quick story that's pretty funny, but not for my friend who's not on here, so I can say it. Years ago, a friend of mine had a budgie.
Yeah.
And I said, like, keep him in the cage when they invite us over for lunch, right? You have to keep him in the cage because if he's flying over, I'm going to freak out and react, right?
Right.
And he was like, he was a big dude. He's like, oh, ho, 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 ho. So one time he lets the budgie out and it comes flying. I'm sitting on the couch, flying over my head. and I just went to protect it. I hit it. I killed it.
Oh, no. Oh,
That's funny. See, you're going, oh no, but you're laughing.
I am.
I
'Cause you
warned him.
them.
So,
Exactly.
so should I have bought him another budgie? No,
No.
because I won't go over there, right? I warned him. Another friend in Toronto when we were kids, he had a pet tarantula.
Mm,
I'll kill it. I don't like spiders like that. I'll kill it.
yeah.
And it was defanged, but he would have it on his arm and couch and me and my couple other friends, we would stand there and go, no, we're not coming in. He was into snakes and all that.
Yep.
That floats your boat, great.
Yeah. Not me, but
That doesn't make me laugh.
no, me neither. Makes me run.
Gives me the run.
That's right. That's right. It's so funny, the way that humor works, because even though that's really not a very positive story, you're right. We still laugh. I have a story that is actually a little similar, sort of, but nobody died. So Robert
Yep.
was, he learned how to ride his bike. Did he learn how to ride his bike? He learned how to ride his bike. And my best buddy, Shelly, her daughter, Jessica, was over, and they're about a year apart. I think she's a year older than Robert. And she's standing, we live on this little cul-de-sac or a dead end, and she's standing looking toward, like, away from the house. And I see Robert, and he's riding along towards her. And I yell at him, hey, Robert, look out for Jessica. And he looks at me and he goes, what? And he keeps riding, rides right up her back. I don't even know how it was possible. Knocked her right down. She had a tire mark. Kid's probably
Oh,
still
geez.
traumatized. She's got 2 children now. So my kindness was my weapon. It was completely my fault. If I hadn't have called Robert, he wouldn't have looked, wouldn't have rode this kid down. And then we laughed. Poor kid, she's crying, we're laughing.
Well, remember funniest videos? We'd always laugh at somebody's failure. So Michelle and I shared a few times that we met. How long ago was it when I flew to Toronto and we met at the airport and I didn't recognize you, or I thought you were somebody else?
Oh, that was in the early 2000, because that was before Sun Peaks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, 1988, 1989, or 1999, something like that.
Yeah. So the funny thing, so Michelle meets me, and we've never met before.
Right.
And I thought she was our other sister, Tina, who I hadn't met yet. So that was a good way to start. And then we're driving towards Tina's or Jimmy, our younger brother. And was it like midnight? Like, it was just a crazy hour because we had to stop and get that hotel for like 3 hours, right?
That's right. Because your plane was 12 hours late. Remember, I sat in the airport.
Yeah, you're just nuts, right?
all day.
So we went to see Jimmy first. So we meet our kid brother. So this is the quick background story is that our mom had 7 kids, and due to circumstances, we were all put in foster care. The 3 oldest went back. So we had been separated for a long time. So me and Michelle were separated for
over 20
25,
yeah,
over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So the first time you meet somebody, kind of you kind of giggly, whatever. So then our baby brother, Jimmy, comes in, which is just trouble. So we're all like, Jimmy's trouble. Jimmy's probably the funniest guy, one of the funniest guys, and us being around. So we were in, was it Belleville?
Trenton.
So we went to a sand store, and Jimmy's fearless. So we had only met I knew Michelle for like 12 hours and Jimmy for like 3 or 2 or whatever. So it was around Halloween, and he found this crash test dummy mask. So he puts it on and he's standing by pillars in the store, and little ladies walk by and he touches them on the shoulder and like scare them, not kill them, by the way. And then, and so it was just so like, it takes care of that nervous energy. And then the funniest thing is when we left, walking outside. So I'm not going to say what he was doing, but he was embarrassing himself and us. And he was walking in a certain way that's not a good way to walk. And we looked behind him, we're going, Jimmy, stop. And he just thought it was funny. So he did it more, and he was like acting like a zombie. And then there was somebody behind him that was doing that, but not because they were joking.
Right.
So but it was funny. But then it wasn't funny for us, but he thought it was still funny, right? So going back to that type of stuff, though, there's something that happens, like Michelle said in that article, with endorphins and the way our body is, right?
Yeah.
I know people that do laugh therapy, and like I haven't done it. I have people go do scream therapy, which is similar in a way.
Yeah.
But I know people that go, and I don't know how you do laugh therapy outside of laughing, and I'm telling you, it's almost like going to the gym.
Well, that's what I hear. I've heard of laughter yoga, and
Yeah.
that's what it is. Where it's a chain reaction of laughter. I remember when I was in high school, I took, what do we call it? Theater arts or something. And we did a thing where everybody laid on the floor and you rested your head on somebody else's tummy. And so we're all like interconnected, and the first person starts laughing, and it's a big chain reaction, right? So
Yeah.
that goes back to your, like, there was no joke, but we were laughing our guts out. Oh my gosh, so funny. But it's interesting. Do you laugh when you're nervous or you're in trouble?
If I look back, I'm sure, like I'm too old now. I don't get very nervous. Like,
Mm,
um, I just don't. I'm an outside. I do outside sales, and I just I just don't get nervous anymore. I've done public speaking. I play music. So I've done, you know, played live events and that. So it's go. Oh no, actually, I'm lying. I'm totally lying.
what, you're lying?
I'm not trying. I'm not meaning to lie. I've played like live events. I think I did thing called Party in Park in Penticton, and 1,000 people, right? And I was one of many bands, local bands, right? We ran a place called Acoustic Emporium in Chilliwack. The building that you were in, it was a church on Sunday, but it did music.
Yeah.
So me and my wife and a couple of friends, we had some of the best folk indie music coming across Canada that would stop to play them, play all the originals, maybe a couple covers, but it's all mostly originals.
Nice.
And a few times we try to get a local artist, like up and coming or young, and give them some experience. So we wouldn't pay them, but we pay the other ones.
Yeah.
And a few times it was like, and people knew me. I'd introduced the bands, like I wasn't scared, right? And we had a few times where our opening artist couldn't make it for whatever reason. So it was like, oh, Tom, well, why don't you go up and do it? And I was so nervous. I was like, I was on the stage, I talked to these people. It was a place hold maybe 100, 150.
Okay.
So nervous.
Yeah.
I felt, and I'm not scared to be in front of people.
Right. Funny.
Figure that one. I
Yeah.
need therapy.
Yes. Well, it's funny because environment matters, the people matter. You know, I find, like, I'm good with my wellness groups because I've known these people, some of them for the last 10 years. I've been coaching them, but I find I'm more nervous if I'm speaking in front of people I know, but in a different atmosphere. Like if I was speaking in front of our family, I think I'd be more nervous than 1,000 people at a rock concert that I can't see them because the lights are so bright. Do you know what I mean? So I think, and yeah, I think that relationship matters.
And the smell is in the air at the
Mhm.
concert.
See? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So-
right.
So one of the things, I'll tell you what I do, and there's a question for you. So the first time I meet somebody, I actually don't meet people. When I'm doing counseling, almost 99.9% is done by phone. I might do an introduction, Zoom or FaceTime, Teams, whatever, right? And so the first thing I try to do is like going for a job interview, right? If I gather information, I've got some kind of idea what they're doing, but I really work hard to break the ice, make somebody feel at ease.
Good.
I have sometimes, and I'm taking a risk because they don't know me either. They've been referred or somebody, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I don't get silly like me and Michelle laughing now. I probably could, but I try to be me and transparent. And I will sometimes say, hey, got your thing. Good to meet you. Good to see you. What do you call 3 pigeons and a dove? I don't, there's no joke there. I'm just making up something. There's no answer to that joke.
Okay, fine.
Right one. 3 pigeons and a dove. 3 pigeons walk into a bar. No. But but I find with going laughter or something about relaxing,
Yeah.
like they'll tell you like before you go for an interview, breathe, just breathe, just settle yourself down. Because with anxiety in that, and I don't remember the chemical, but there's something that kind of, it's like these neutrons that kind of start going off. Same as with anxiety.
Right.
Anxiety starts going off, oh, with something that hasn't happened yet. You're now fearful. That phobia is in there too, but all of a sudden you're going like, oh no, like what if I have a pimple on my nose in the interview, and we start panicking, right?
Right.
And the thing, one of the things I read, if I find it, I might share it. There was an article I read a couple of years ago, and they said some of the best thing to do before going into an interview is to listen to light comedy on the radio.
Good. Yeah.
Something that eases that tension. And because if you go in and if you had a couple of laughs, now some people go, well, I don't want to go in laughing. And then I remember, and then I finally get that joke, and now I'm laughing in front of the CEO, right?
Right. Right. Oh,
But
right.
I'm telling you, that's better than being tied up. Like just,
That's absolutely right. You know what's funny about that? I do that after I watch the news. So, excuse me, I don't watch, like, I don't have cable. I don't know how to say that anymore because cable means more than what it used to. But like, I don't have program television, but I have certain people that I follow to get like my daily dose of what's going on in the world. And then when I'm done, I always and I really limit how much I expose myself to. And then I watch some YouTube videos. I like there's a page called Dry Bar Comedy. Do you subscribe to any YouTube pages?
no.
No. So they're really good. They're short, but they're all clean. So like I don't know if it's literally a dry bar or not, but it's clean, funny comedy. I can pick long periods of time, short periods of time, to boost my mood and get, especially before I go to work, so that like I'm in that good positive energy flow, and I can't permit the government to have my energy. You know what I mean? So I get my little dose of what I need to know, and then I rein myself back in. But I've really spent a lot of time putting effort into creating an environment that shares joy. So, like on my Facebook, for example, I'm very selective what groups I join, so that those dry bar comedies, they come up on my Facebook now. So I'll get a little dose of, 3 minutes of some jokes, or whatever, that sort of thing. Like when all those puns that you share, you're getting them from somewhere,
Yeah.
right? So they must be paid you're subscribed to. And a lot of times people are subscribed to all the heavy stuff, whatever that looks like for you, or, political or religious or anti both of those, whatever it is. And they're draining, right? So
Yeah.
they're draining, and then they're going to tie into your mood and your mindset, and then that stinking thinking, where
Yeah.
if you take the time to maybe get out of some of those serious groups, I'm sure one is enough, and then go and go into things that you enjoy, or cat videos, or Alice loves to watch on our Roku. We watch Wins and Fails. She loves it. And then we're looking like, is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? We get little bets. Oh, I bet you're right. I bet whatever. It's great. We interact. We're laughing together, and then I'm telling her I'm a winner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing you were saying, that I was thinking of our sisters on. I got the right sister this time.
Oh,
I
good.
did say hi to the what sister that has your friend that has the same name as our other sisters on.
I'd take her for a sister any day. Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
But then the other sisters on. So when I came down last time, when I drove across Canada, and this isn't, I don't know if we call this laughing. So our sister Wendy's on. So I drove across the country. I was going crazy. I just met you, actually, stayed at the hotel. We went for dinner, and then I drove to my other sisters. And so we get there, and I think it was my only couple days that I didn't drive like stupid hours, right? And we went, and what did we watch? Wendy, if you can hear us, my sister, we binge watched what was that show about it was, I think, Korean, about the children's game. Oh my word, I can't remember what it was. It was on Netflix, but it was the biggest thing that came out. So it was all about these kids game, but it was like it was a competition, right? I'll have to find it anyways, because now I'm getting ready to go, what are you talking about? So it wasn't this crazy comedy, but it was, we binge watched like 8 shows in 2 days, which was awesome, 8 or 10.
I love it.
And we were just sitting there, and it's kind of funny, but it's Korean, so it's different, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I'm going to share, I'm going to take a risk here. If I offend anybody, just private message me and tell me. But one of the things me and my wife would watch years ago, I think it was a Page, and I know we got to be careful what we like laugh at these days. It's a little serious, right? But it was called Fringlish, and it was different South Asian stores that were trying to change language from their language to English.
Okay.
And even in Chilliwack, we have a place called Lung Yu restaurant, and
Okay.
people. So the joke is like, well, we're not going to go have a lung. That's just my
Right.
appetite, right? And there was like, yeah. So there were just funny things because they were serious. They weren't meant to be funny, but they were funny. And speaking of funny, one of the funniest movies, and to do with mental wellness, by the way, a movie with Bill Murray,
Okay.
1,000 years ago, called What About Bob?
You mentioned that last week. I was gonna look that up and I didn't yet. Thank you for the reminder.
That's our homework, everybody. So if you can find it, I don't know where you find it. Richard Dreyfuss is a therapist, and What About Bob's got like a bunch of issues, right? So the idea, and it's hilarious, like I mean, it's not a hilarious situation, but the movie, like Bill Murray's just funny. Bill Murray can make you laugh at anything, right?
Yeah.
And when the guy gives him a prescription note, say, take a vacation from your problems, and he goes, it sticks. He goes, oh, yeah. He was a germ phobia and all that. So in a way, in a different way, but that movie, what I love about that movie is like the power, the power we have that we don't believe we have is in a place of saying, having a crappy day. Before we went on air, I'm not going to say whatever like about it, but I just had police at the door and I got a ticket from October, sis.
Oh,
October backlog. So I
wow.
got a ticket. The cop was fine. I was on video, whatever, right? So I got a ticket to pay, right? I got a blue slip and no points.
Good.
And with that, like all of a sudden you can, when we get bad news or whatever, you can just have this like suck or somebody sick or somebody died, like all these things, right? And grieving and all that's important. But we actually have the power. We actually have the power to, I don't know, put on Spotify, do whatever. We can make the choice of what we listen to that will lighten our mind and body and our soul, or whatever we want to call it, right?
Yeah.
And so we have the power to do that. And so laughter is hilarious. And again, there's so many. If you haven't laughed for a while, find a funny movie.
Absolutely. Or even a clip, right? If you figure you don't have time, find a 5-minute clip of somebody. And if it's somebody like, I don't know how old everybody is, but look up, Carol Burnett or somebody from years ago that made you laugh. Again, go back into thinking about emotion recall. Go back into when you were growing up. Who were you a fan of? What did you used to watch? What made you laugh? And if that doesn't work, try something else. One of the ones I've been watching lately, that we watch here, and probably not appropriate in today's element, but Whose Line Is It Anyways?
All the time.
Right? Hilarious.
Sis, Colin Mockery is a friend of mine.
Shush. What?
No, I'm joking.
Does he know?
Made you laugh.
Yeah, you better tell them. Oh, that's so awesome. But they're so funny. And you know what's interesting? I was looking for clips for us today, and it's hard to find them that are clean. That because I was looking up Howie Mandel video clips
Yeah.
for you for today, and he drops the F-bomb too much. I just couldn't do it. But that's a great example, right? Where over the year, do you remember Gallagher? Do you remember him, the comedian? He used to smash
Watermelon.
watermelon. Oh my gosh, so funny. Absolutely. Like anybody like that. Just YouTube has it all.
Oh, Mr. Bean, right? Mr. Bean.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. See, we're triggering. We're triggering in a good way. We're bringing back to memory, maybe a better way than triggering. We're just reminiscing of these things. And it's funny, Gallagher, I don't remember any of his jokes. I remember the sledgehammer and the watermelon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mr. Bean, who
Yep.
doesn't talk. Now that may not be your humor, right?
Yep.
We should share. I'm going to be risky because I don't think it's that bad. I have PVR because I have cable or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
exactly.
And so I PVR everything that I can watch it. So I have on there, if I was to look, I'll take a still and show you. I think I have 76 episodes of Whose Line Is It Anyways recorded.
Oh, I love it. So
And you
funny.
know what? I've probably seen every one of them 2 or 3 or 4 times.
That's
And
awesome.
and Teresa goes, "You've seen this already, but it makes me laugh." And Colin and Ryan. But the funniest one on there. So if you haven't seen it, YouTube, Whose Line Is It Anyways? Find something. It's not your humor. Hey, charge Michelle. Send her the bill.
Send me a letter.
The funniest ones that are on there, though, is when they include the audience. So Ryan and Colin, when they give the audience a mic and they got to do the sound effects for them.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Yeah.
So funny. And they have
Yeah.
famous people, right? Like Robin Williams has been on. Lots of famous people have been on. So
Wayne Brady.
So yeah, oh my, yeah, absolutely. He's so good. Like they're all good. They have their own skill set, but him with the singing and the music and everything, amazing.
So here's a fun question. So Whose Line Is It Anyways? Improv.
Yeah.
So I think what we love about it. So I actually, when I was in school, I took theater, and I remember doing it was improv theater, but I remember 1,000 years ago in school that we kind of, I don't know how we got into humor, but we were given something and then you had to think quickly, right?
Yep.
So there's something about, and we're all wired different. Like my son I'm an external processor. I do both, but I don't save it in my brain very long. It comes out like Michelle. We save a little bit, maybe.
Just I'm like a sponge.
Yeah. There's things that come out of our mouth that maybe we should have given another 3 or 4 seconds, but hey, it's who we are. But it's fun. Like there's these silly things that if you haven't done it yet. So what's the line? You know what you know, and you don't know.
You know, and you don't know what you don't know until you know.
Then you know what you didn't know.
And you know what you didn't know. That's right.
Right.
A lot of words.
So we're getting shirts. So the thing is this. So think about this. So I'm actually thinking of people that are like, I might come across I'm funny in a way. I'm probably funny, but I don't probably laugh enough, just being honest. I'm working on it. But so here's kind of a fun thing, right? You can now integrate things that maybe you wouldn't have done before. So if you haven't been to an improv club, go.
Right.
Even to go to a comedy club, even the bad comics are hilarious because they're bad.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
And so there's something that we can do. I was thinking of people I know that have traveled, right? First time traveling outside of Canada, you go, oh my word, this is great. First time on a plane, you're scared, poopless, and all of a sudden you go, I still find flying intriguing. I know it works, and I've flown a lot, but I'm going, I understand the science of it, but I'm going, this plane is so heavy. I don't care what the aerodynamics shouldn't be floating, right? And then I have a nightcap and a movie, and I'm good.
And you're good. You're off to the races. That's right. Yeah. That's so funny. And it's so true. And it circles back to you have more control than you think. That's the thing, right? We feel so powerless. And really, we have more control because the light that we share is on the inside. And we can turn it on at any time, right? With laughter, with puns, with being around people that make you laugh. Again, remembering things that were funny. and fart jokes. They will forever be funny. Just saying, right? Like
There was
different.
there was 1,000 years ago. It's probably still out there in the internet somewhere. There was like the top 10 poop jokes. It was like ghost poops and all this stuff. And when it came out at the time, it was like it was funny because and I'm saying this in a general way. For some people, depending on your rage, it was like you can't forbidden laugh. You shouldn't laugh at
Right.
that, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden you laugh, right? I find I'm not saying this to any of the women in chat because I don't know, and my sister's going to be appalled. I have women in my life that are comfortable farting.
Good.
I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable, and it's just what it is, right? But it's funny though. So I react with humor,
Yeah.
but it's so funny because I think I saw a clip a long time ago. There's a few of them out. There's one right out now with Donald Trump, right? So Donald Trump's, he's just so easy to pick on, right? Jimmy Fallon, do you watch Jimmy Fallon at all?
Not really, but I watch his clips from time to time. Yeah, I don't
When
mind.
when he's with Kevin Hart
Yes. Funny.
and they're on like the roller coaster, or whatever. So these things to watch is it's actually if you don't laugh a lot and you're kind of got high stress, have a nightcap, have your glass of wine or your Scotch whiskey, whatever you do to lighten the load after work.
Yeah.
And before you go into your evening, and just find something funny. And again, right now, reels are so two things on reels. What do you think are the two most watched on reels right now? Might be three top. I may have two of the top three.
I
What do you?
don't know.
Okay, they are funny. So funny, whatever funny.
Okay.
And they're food.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Even people with doing. I'm a food guy, and I watch people. I'm actually applaud them because they're not very good, but like doing things on TikTok and all that now. These lives and trying to get it's through the roof, right? Andy Warhol said this. I'm off topic, but Andy Warhol said this. He goes, in the future, everybody's gonna get 15 minutes of fame.
Right.
He said that in the 60s, I think.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I like it because I think when people become more natural and who they are, loosens things. And I do think it's good. I watch some serious stuff, but I watch I love comedies. Mom doesn't like comedies.
Oh, what does she watch?
She watches
like all
CNN, Fox News, CNN, and Donald Trump. No, whatever.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's going to take your blood pressure down.
That's exhausting. Exhausting. Yeah.
So last night I mentioned first. So on a Tuesday night, I try not to go often, but I go because of my sister Tammy and Mom. We go to the bingo in Agassiz. It's not a little bingo, but it's like a little area bingo, and I don't know if there's even 100 people. It's old fashioned. They don't have the wooden cards. Did you play bingo?
From time to time, not so much in the last 10 years, but I had my moments.
So we do it. It's a night to hang out. It's long, drives me nuts. But I go there, and I'm just silly. And I have this Indigenous woman who's probably 85. She's a little tiny thing, right? And I'm her boyfriend now. She goes, "Hey, where's my boyfriend?" Beautiful. And so, because even though I'm in my 60s, there might be a few younger, but most of them are older than me, right? And I love that community. And I mean, some of them are stressed and they're like, "I got to win money. I need the money," whatever. But a majority of it is just a chance, especially for seniors, to get out and somehow get out of the house.
Right.
And so I'm friends with everybody. They want me when the caller retires, they want me to be a caller. And I said, like, you're probably gonna get more fun than, like, I'll try to be respectful, but I'll be silly, right? I'm a silly dude, right?
Yeah.
But in it, the ones that are there, even I'm thinking of older people, I'm making them laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a good thing. Who's there? Who's behind you?
Robert,
Robert.
he's gone. He's gone like the wind.
We have to interview him one time.
Yeah, we will for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just freaked him out. Freaked him out, right?
Yeah, well, the door is right there to the living room. So he just deked right out, shut the door. Shut the door. So tell us the truth. Are you there trying to look for Sugar Mama? Is that what's really
Well-
happening at the bingo?
Well, so the joke is, so again, in this group, we're a closed group. Most of my people know this. So me and my wife are separated. There's a long story with that. Nothing on word. You know what? She's actually got the best of both worlds.
Yeah,
We hang out on the weekend. I have our son who's 18 on the weekend, and she'll come over like Friday night, hang out, watch movies, eat dinner. She'll stay over, right?
love it.
And she's the smartest woman because she gets to be with me, then she gets her quiet place.
I think she's brilliant. Absolutely.
Because if you're on the page there, I think there's a lot of women that go, "Oh, that makes sense." And it's not meant. She's working through her stuff. We went through lots of mental wellness or like mental health stuff, right? And what was your question again?
You looking for a Sugar Mama?
So the joke is, I say this to my mom. I was going to get a place. I've got a place now, but I was going to get a place where it would be a seniors, like 55 plus
There you
place, rec room. And my joke was like, I want to find somebody with 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on the earth. I'm going to make them happy for the rest of their days.
There you
Then-
go.
Then move on, right?
There's our Tom, always a giver.
Yeah, always a giver, making people happy.
That's all the time. I love it. That's funny. But you're right, like the joy, those sparks of interactions where even over a short period of time, like a 3-hour bingo, you're having that interaction. Sometimes that might be the highlight of somebody's whole day, that they hope they see Tom at the bingo because he makes them laugh, right? Like
100%. They do. Yes, mom.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing, is that a lot of times we don't really realize the significance and the power that's attached to these interactions. Even sharing a joke or a comment with a stranger. When I'm at my other job where I'm booking hotel rooms, I don't know the person on the other end of the line, but just having that little small talk about technology, and then I'll, reminisce about, you remember when we had dial up, or, drinking out of the hose was much easier, in that era with no. Uncle Tom says hi. Okay, he says hello. Gotta.
Hello.
Ice cream. He's all about the ice cream. So,
Awesome. I'm in.
yeah. So yeah, it's important that even in the short interactions, and I know we've talked about this before, you never know what impact you're making on somebody else, right? And it could be the difference between holding the door or letting it go on somebody, right? That you're not physically hurting them, but in that moment they feel ignored or not seen, or right. So making the eye contact, making the joke, making, sometimes if somebody's reading me something really long, because I have 2 languages, right? English and sarcasm. So then I'll reply like, oh, I wish it was 18 characters instead of 16, because that would make all the difference, right? Or whatever. And it's in that moment where you can take somebody who's having a really rough day, and I see it all the time, I'm sure you do too. And in that couple of minutes of focus, listening, being attentive, sharing a joke or a smile, it can change it right around. So by the time you're done, they're not ready to pitch their computer out, or, snap somebody's neck the next time, or whatever that looks like. I'm not judging, I'm just saying, right? So that can make a difference as well. So, I think sharing that joy with people we know, but also with people we don't know, equally important, because we have more power than we think.
So here's one of the things. So again, I say this all the time. I'm saying it again. I'll say it all the time anyway.
Say it again.
Over here is my laptop. I think I show people.
We believe you.
There's my laptop, right? I think yeah. So what happens is when Michelle's talking, I'm kind of seeing what's going on and in the chat and stuff like that. So, but what I did do, I'm exercising my the trust I have with you guys. I just shared a clip called 11, and it's on the wall. You can look at it later. It's only 3 minutes, 45 minutes, 3 minutes, 45 seconds, but it's a friend shared it years ago, and it's Scottish. If
Okay.
if you have an accent, you're gonna win with me. I don't even care. I don't even have to know what you're saying.
Yep.
You're gonna right.
Yep.
And so it's they're in a voice activated elevator, so you have to watch it. I think there's one swear word at the end, but if that offends you, I apologize. So funny. So in saying that, I don't know if people know this. We have one of the funniest comedians from Canada in the world. You know who that person is?
Are you gonna say Howie Mandel?
No, Howie's old. His
Okay.
little Russell Peters.
Oh, Russell Peters. Yeah, he's funny. Yeah.
So Russell Peters, I got a chance to see him at one point years and years ago. So Russell Peters is, I think he still is, but the last few years, the number one sought after comedian in the world.
I didn't
And
realize.
when he started, he would do all he because he's brown, he could do all the kind of jokes that we wouldn't get away with being white,
Right.
pretty much. And so he was like funny, and he was talking about life experiences from Toronto, right? And he was talking like you can't get a Chinese and an Indian guy can't work together because one wants a deal and one can't give a deal,
Right.
and just so these types of things, and we all have different humor, but it's actually like I almost feel like I want to be like Dr. Tom, not Dr. Phil, and I want to say, do this week. There's Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. Find something that you find funny and introduce it into your day, at least maybe every day or two, whatever, right?
Yep.
Intentionally do it. If you're on driving home and you're in traffic, or if you're getting ready, like Michelle leaving here and doing dinner or whatever our routine is, I read a study when you want to talk about this, and they're saying one of the things that in America, because of the stress now, financial stress and all that, is there was a psychologist from the States, and he says we need to find lightheartedness. And and actually, no, I'm not even saying it. He said you need to find something that releases the brain. And he said, so sometimes people will go do sports that could be meaningless, like as long as it's not high intense and you're stressed out, like golfing, I guess, frisbee golf or whatever, cricket, I don't know, whatever it is, right? But then there is this thing saying like you need to find something lighthearted. It could be quiet, like instrumental music, kind of that Zen thing. It could be smells, but he mentioned about finding laughter, finding something that kind of shifts the energy in our body from being tense and uptight and frustrated.
Exactly.
So if I find the article, I'll post it.
That would be great. Yeah. And for everybody, if you know something that makes you laugh, or because again, we're better together, right? So feel free to share on the page. That would be absolutely awesome, whether it's a meme or it's a video. I have a video I'm going to share on there. It's so funny. It's about a man that robs Wendy's with an alligator. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's, oh my gosh, the guy tells the story. So funny. And then I have two quotes for you today. I think you're going to appreciate them.
Okay, before we, no, we're not finished. Where's all your jokes? We have a couple minutes of jokes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Where do fruits go on vacation?
I don't know.
Paris.
Paris. Okay. What do gossiping pots do?
No, I don't know.
Spill the beans.
Oh, don't trust atoms. They make up everything. Oh, you know what? I just got a flashback. You have another joke. I won't say any more, but tell your joke and then we'll do the quote. There's videos where people like not Will Smith or The Rock or whatever, and they're across from each other, Mark Wahlberg or whatever, and they're across from it and they tell the worst jokes to try to get the other guy to laugh. Have you seen that?
I have, with Mark Wahlberg and who's the one from Step Brothers?
Will Ferrell.
Yes, so funny. Oh, and they're the dumbest jokes. They're dad jokes or something. I don't know how you qualify to a dad joke, but they are so funny. And then like the joke's not really funny, it's how they're responding, how they're trying not to laugh, and then they break and they do laugh. And yeah, so very
But
funny.
Will Ferrell, like there's some people like this. If don't put any people if you know, but I'm pretty sure we all know some people
Yep.
that they don't have to say anything. It's just their face.
Oh,
And Will Ferrell's got one of those faces. You can't look at him, right? The other one you mentioned earlier, and then I'm going to be done, is the Carol Burnett show.
yeah.
Tim Conway, the little guy, would be in the show and not say anything. You see the outtakes, right?
Yeah.
Outtakes are my favorite, by the way. And you see the outtakes, and he always busted them up, and he wouldn't be doing anything. He would just be there. Just
Yeah.
there's a snicker on his face or something, right?
That's and
So anyway,
a lot of those were live back
yeah.
then. Yeah, so they couldn't cut them out. That's right, absolutely. So hey, what's a barista's favorite exercise at the gym?
See, I should know all these, and I don't. Go ahead.
This one, French press. Come
Oh,
on.
please, come on.
All right. So I have two quotes for you today. I think you're going to appreciate them. People who think they know everything are a great annoyance to those of us that do.
Yes.
And
Where's the
then
punchline? Where's the punchline? Oh,
that's
go ahead.
it. Exactly. And then this last one's by another famous comedian, Steve Martin. He says, a day without sunshine is like, night.
Who was Robin Williams? Was one of the funniest guys too, right?
So funny. So
So
funny.
now I'm ending on a bad note. I didn't mean to say this, but just when you were saying that, it made me think of Robin Williams and some of the funniest people struggle with mental health, right?
Yeah.
And if you read some of the stories about how they would try to navigate, like Robin Williams is a sad story, but there's things that they'll do like comics but even other people that once they kind of try to be real with themselves in a way, then they that humor helps them. There, it wasn't Romans. Another guy said, he goes, "I would have been dead long ago if I didn't have humor."
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, we're good. I would pass the candy through the thing for you, but I can't.
That's okay. No problem. It would conflict with my tea. So
Yeah,
thank you for that. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Again, please share on the page. And we're thrilled that you're here with us from week to week. We'll be back next week. We're not sure yet what we're going to talk about, but feel free to put your suggestions on the page. Share some jokes, share some laughter this week, and we'll be back next week. We're going to do it all over again.
perfect.
All right, everybody.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care.
Bye.
Thanks
Bye.
for coming.